Hello! Howdy. Hi, everybody. Sam Goodman bringing you another episode of really fucking scary stories. So what's really cool about today is you've gotten a few episodes in. You've gotten to meet one of our other co-hosts at this point, Cheyenne Davis, who hopefully will continue to hang out with us from time to time. But now you get to meet the other co-host of this macabre trio, I guess, and he's a fellow by the name of Jarrell Belanki.
Hey, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is pretty cool. So, yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Jarrell. A little bit about me. You know, Samuel Goodman, you know, the host, the
host
mastermind with of all these podcasts.
The host with the most.
Is my loving, adorable, handsome partner.
Future husband, hopefully, maybe.
Yes.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
We'll end up in the really fucking scary stuff.
Shut up. Tell everybody about what you do, who you are. Nobody knows who you are.
It's a...
Other than the fact that you're extremely lucky to have such an amazing boyfriend.
Ditto. Well, what I do is really fucking scary.
Oh, God.
No, it's nothing special. I'm a nurse. A registered nurse.
I think that's kind of special with everything that's going on right now. So it's funny, though, because like as I've been doing research for stuff, a lot of stories that I have found, like I went to the paranormal Reddit today because I just never looked at it. And just browsing for stories and stuff like that. And like the first 20 stories that I came across were like haunted nursing homes. Oh. It was all like haunted nursing homes.
You know, like working in the nursing homes, I didn't really experience a lot of like paranormal or strange stuff. It's mostly when I worked in the hospital.
Yeah. Which was
weird. Yeah. Like I worked, especially the night shift. Oh, Lord.
Well, and so that's super interesting because I think what we're going to touch on today will tie in very, very, very well with some of that. And it's a total surprise to you because you have no clue what we're going to talk about yet.
No, I don't.
And I really don't know either. I'm just kind of winging this. But I have some stuff pulled up that we'll chat about. But before we get too far into that, what do we have going on in the middle of September? Do you know? Do you remember what's happening in the middle of September?
Oh, yes. So we have a big surprise for y'all.
It's not really a surprise because I've posted about it already.
Oh, never mind. I'm not surprised for you all. In September, we're going to be doing our own little... how do I say it? Like our little
it's a haunted road trip.
There you go.
It's probably the easiest way to say it. At least that's what I've told everybody that it is. So we can stick with haunted road trip. So the part that you don't know yet, though, is that we're going to be. It sounds like we have like people shooting fireworks across the neighborhood here. So if you hear anything in the background, but what we plan on doing is live streaming it. Mm-hmm. So if you head over to palehorsemediaco, that's PALE mediaco.com, and you click on events, there's 3 separate events that you can sign up for. And those are our nightly live stream sessions. So we're going to be recording the podcast. And if you want to be a part of it, you can sign up there. It's totally free. You just have to sign up, and we're going to be doing it through the website will basically send you a link, and you can communicate with us, and we can all be a part of a podcast together, which will be super duper cool. So it will be our haunted road trip, and we'll be doing that from Tucson, Bisbee, Arizona, and Tombstone, Arizona, night after night after night. And I'm interested in how you feel about maybe some of the places that we're going to be staying in.
Yeah. Well, for those who don't know me, I love horror movies. I love watching horror documentaries. But I wouldn't say I'm a scaredy cat, but I love the thrill. But I'm excited, but
it's going to be intense.
I don't know what's going to happen.
So I'm going to order. Hopefully, this is what this is how we're kind of planning on doing it. We're going to have the Zoom going, right? So that's the live stream that you can sign up for. You can sign up for all 3 nights. You can sign up for one, whatever. It's going to be different every night. But what we're going to do is I'm ordering a spirit box that we're going to leave in. I don't know how it's going to work because I don't know if it like runs all staticky, if we can leave it going, or if we'll just have to do different sessions. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We're winging this thing. But we're going to do a spirit box, and we're going to do stuff like that all during the podcast, and we're going to tell the stories of the locations that we're at. Mm-hmm. So nothing's solid as far as where exactly we're staying, but we have some ideas. And I will just say that there's like no... it's not hard to find a haunted location to stay in Bisbee or Tombstone, and it's not that hard in Tucson either. So even no matter where you stay, there's a ghost story in Tombstone, right? So some of the original kind of places that we've been kind of browsing at, I mean, just in the circle of 100 yards, there's like at least 100 ghost stories. There's like 100 horrible deaths within several seconds of anywhere you stay. So I think it'll be interesting. I'm wondering if you're going to do okay with.
I don't know. We'll see.
Staying the night in a spot where maybe somebody.
I die.
There's like a good possibility that
whatever.
That we're going to stay. No, there's a good possibility that we're going to be staying in rooms where people might have perished in the past. I'm specifically looking to stay in rooms that have stories associated with them.
I think it'll be interesting. It'll be exciting, but I can tell I'm not going to sleep at all. I'm going to be wide awake. The smallest sound or movement, I'm just going to freak out.
So that's what's cool, though, is that it's not just us. If you want to go sign up, again, head over to the website. I'll put it in the show notes. You can go sign up. It's totally free, and you will be part of that podcast. And those podcasts will obviously be posted here on the channel. So even if it's after the fact, you will get to hear that podcast from that location, which is super cool because we're usually here in the awesome and super cool studio that we have here in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, which is super awesome. And, that's fun, but it's a lot more fun to go do this on location and tell the story of a location that we're at the time. I don't know. I just think it's going to be super fun. I'm excited for this one, and I'm excited for more haunted road trips in the near future. And not just haunted, I'm looking maybe some true crime road trips at some point in the future too. I think it'll be super cool.
I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be interesting. I'm excited and nervous, but I think it'll be good. It'll be a good experience.
It's going to be awesome. So, before we go any farther than that, also go ahead and subscribe. Do me a favor, subscribe to the podcast. It allows us to do the super cool stuff that we're talking about. When you like, subscribe, and share. If you share this episode, it helps us a ton as well because it allows us to continue to bring you awesome and amazing content such as this and like other haunted road trips and crazy, wacky stuff that I don't know. I think you enjoy it. We enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. So do me a favor, do that for me. If you have a few minutes and can leave us a review, that's awesome as well. Any likes, any loves, any reviews, anything like that is always super helpful to helping us create this content. And then head over and like all of our stuff on social media. You can find us pretty much everywhere. Most of our stuff is just put out through palehorsemediaco. So if you look up that, you will find that, and you'll find all of our other podcasts and all of the other stuff that we have going on at any given time. So it's a really good, fun, easy way to keep up with us. So speaking of Jarrell's career, I wanted to jump into just a topic on kind of bizarre medicine or macabre medicine from the past. What do you think?
That'd be interesting.
I literally just have pulled up a couple articles here that I'm just kind of browsing at, talking about some general cures, some general medical stuff, and we're just going to kind of look at it and kind of react and talk about it and see what you think about it.
Oh, I know.
Nowadays. Yeah. So, like, the first thing that comes up is bloodletting, right? And so we go to the antique mall as frequently as we can, I guess, once a year. And we found, I'm always looking for like this one particular case, and I can always spot it because it's got like bones and stuff in it. And we found it the last time we were there, and they had all these antique bloodletting tools.
Yeah.
They're like Swiss Army knives, but for a super weird purpose of bloodletting. And bloodletting is this old medical practice of literally what it sounds like. It's draining blood from people. For a super long time, people thought that, you know, you had bad blood or you had too much blood, and we needed to get that shit out of you, and that's how we would make you better. And there's probably some actual, I don't want to say there's truth to it, but it might have been helpful, right? If somebody had like super high blood pressure.
Yeah, that would be good. That's what I was thinking of.
To cut them open and like yank all this blood out of them, it would probably lower their blood pressure for a little bit.
See,
but,
I think we could actually practice that right now.
Well, and there might be some people that do, but basically what they would do is they would have this, if you were fancy, you had like a bloodletting tool, which is like a little lancet kind of thing, and they would basically shove that into you, into a vein, and they would put a bucket under you and just catch all that blood and just kind of let you bleed out. So if you were sick, they used it for like everything. It seems like so many of these kind of more primitive practices, I guess, way to put it, they were all kind of cure-alls, it seems. Like, the more like you read about this stuff, it's like, you use this, if you, I don't know, if you had a headache or if you had an ingrown toenail, you let blood. If your hair grew too fast, you would do bloodletting. If you sneezed too much, you would do bloodletting. Like, it was this weird kind of thing where most of this stuff was just kind of all curative, which was just kind of strange. But looking at this, I mean, it kind of goes on to say, and this makes sense too, that a lot of people probably, didn't do very well, because if you already have a weakened and not so great immune system, then you pour out a bunch of blood, it's probably not going to be good for you. It doesn't seem like. You're the medical professional, not me. I'm just kind of rambling about bloodletting right now.
No, I don't know. I feel like it's like there's positives and negatives to this, but I could say that, like you said earlier, they're very primitive and very hardcore. But I think because we have a lot of patients who have extreme high blood pressure, I think if we practice this, it could be helpful instead of using medication all the time. But
so this is one that I find very interesting, is trepanation, because trepanation is still used today. So trepanation would definitely be used today in certain types of cancer where you need to relieve pressure from the head, right? So trepanation, for those of you that don't know, is literally drilling a hole into your skull, right? And that's still used. That's still something that's used today. It's probably used a little bit more wisely than what it was back in the day. So literally, if you were kind of fucked up, like, so if you might have not been all together, if you might have had some sort of mental disability or something like that, then unfortunately, back in the good old days, they were just kind of like, yeah, they've got the devil in their head. And how do you get the devil out of your head? You drill a fucking hole in your head. And that's what they kind of sort of did. So,
that's crazy.
I mean, like I said, I know that you could probably rattle off some modern uses of trepanation, because you do see that, right? If you have someone that has a lot of swelling in their brain, that could probably save them. And this might have saved people, at some point way back in the day, but they literally drilled holes in people's heads with no anesthesia.
That's what I was going to ask. Did they have
There was no
then?
anesthesia.
Aye.
No, I was actually listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, going back and re-listening to an episode with I think her name is Lindsay Fitzpatrick, and she touched on that, about kind of when ether took hold and when you could actually, when actually you kind of had some form of anesthesia. But no, not so much. Like, all the way up until like that, I'm not sure the exact year, but it was a whole lot later than what you would think. Like, it was kind of crazy, like how, like, when you had to go have surgery done, you literally went to the surgeon that was the fastest, because you had no anesthesia and you had no real painkillers. So people would doctors would get like bragging rights about being like the fastest blade in the West,